Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Ohio University Lancaster, and Lancaster Fairfield Community Action Recycling and Litter Prevention.
Welcome to Fairfield Today. My name is John Bosser. I am the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and we are the host of this program once a month. We are today at the along the Sensory Trail in the treehouse outside of Forest Rose School, and I have with me Bob Sulik and Andy Phillips, and we'll talk about a little project they did. First of all, guys, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Bob, you've been involved with us for a little over a year now. Well, probably 2 years.
Yeah, at least 2 years, yes.
You worked on the treehouse.
Correct, yes.
But you noticed that whenever one of our musical instruments was broken, that it needed repaired, and you guys weren't quite sure what to do with it. You worked with it for quite a while, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We looked at it for a while, and we did come up with a plan on how to get to repair it economically. And I did make a call into Andy Phillips at the Lancaster High School to see if his students would help us out on that project, and he said yes, and they did a remarkable job. It's now hanging. We hung it Tuesday.
Okay.
So it's been repaired. It's in good shape and ready to start some musical tunes on it.
Okay. Andy, can you describe a little bit about what you guys had to do to it?
Sure. We basically kind of dry rotted from the inside out from the moisture and weather. So Bob was kind enough to provide us with the materials for it. We basically just drew up a little sketch on how we were going to fix it, and then we picked two of my carpentry seniors, two of my best workers, and let them have at it. And they came out and got it done relatively quick, and I think it's going to be there and last for a while, hopefully.
Okay. Who were they? Tell us their names.
Zach Siegel and Austin Coleman were my two seniors who were in charge of working on this project.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for helping us out with that. Now, the actual piece of the instrument came originally from the UK. Did that pose any problem for you? Or?
No, we just knew that it was awfully expensive to replace the piece of equipment, over $1,000. So we came up with a relatively inexpensive way to fix it and hopefully make it last for years to come.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you can always play with that musical instrument at the end of our Sensory Trail. That's right along the edge of College Avenue as you enter the Forest Rose parking lot. Andy, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
And Bob, thank you.
And thank you, John.
When we come back, we'll talk about our dedication ceremony for our swing set today.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
First of all, I'd like to thank our ladies from the Frable Study Group who are in attendance here. They made a donation first a couple years ago for the tree house, and they just told us they're going to donate some money for our swing set here. And I'd also like to recognize Bob Sulik and Slater's Hardware and Andy Phillips from Lancaster High School. Their carpenter class donated the material and the time to repair one of our musical instruments that's down at our musical instrument station. So thank you, Andy, for that. And Bob, thank you, and Slater's. Yes, sir. Now I'd like to turn the mic over to Jody Blaze, who's going to talk a little more about the impact that this swing set will have on our students.
So glad you could all join us, and I think what we really need to do is give these folks that have been supportive of this trail a huge round of applause as a thank you for everything they've done. We so appreciate you being part of this dream, this vision that we've had for half a decade now, and to be able to stand with us and watch it evolve. Because the things that we put in place sensory-wise are for the benefit of our students, but also for the benefit of the community. And to see that as we've added parts and phases to this, the community response, there is not a day that goes by that I don't see someone out here playing the instruments, walking, hiking the trail, having a picnic. And it's been something that we've all been able to rally behind. This has been a great concept and one that we wanted to bring to bear because it's very important for the wheelchair swings. We have those swings on our playground, but they can't be accessible to the whole community. So we put those in place so that everybody can enjoy swinging side by side. Now, you and I both know a lot of us still like to swing. Just pointing out to you, some of you skinny little girls can still ride these swings. 120-pound weight limit. Rest of us will be using this. But great to be able to see kids with and without disabilities be able to enjoy this at one span. You've got to come out and test this ground before you leave. This is like the best surface to ever walk on. We'd all like to have this in our kitchen, much better than a chef mat. So we want you to stay today to play. We want you to enjoy the swing set. We want you to go down and play with the instruments. Go back and visit the tree house and admire some of the planting. We had a group of kids from Catholic schools and Lancaster High School come and do some plantings for us. Some more plantings that were donated by Lowe's. So this does allow our students to get out, but it also increases what others can do in the community as they come out and play and explore and enjoy nature with their family. Hugely important to all of us. Who else are we talking to?
That's about it.
All right. Then we appreciate your being here. Thank you for all of your support. Stay with us. Come back. Bring your family. And let's enjoy this space. Thank you.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. My name is John Bosser. I'm the host of this program that is hosted for this month by the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I have with me now Lori Burns, who is the occupational therapist at Forest Row School. Lori, welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks.
I know how much you enjoy doing this. Lori kind of spearheaded our project to add a swing set to our sensory trail. We have a group of people from a number of different agencies, and if I try to name them all, I will forget half of them, so I'm not even going to name them. But the sensory trail at Forest Row School was all done with donations of time and money and grants. No public money was spent on this. We have quite an impressive things for people to do out here. You were involved in both the musical instrument part as well as the sensory, as well as the swing set. Talk a little bit about the musical instruments first of all.
Well, the musical instruments, they've been in now for what?
About 3 years,
4 years, yes. Our kids really enjoy music, and there's really no other place in the area where you can actually go out and play music in the open air and
Yeah.
have that experience. So it's been very beneficial for everybody.
And the cool part is that anyone can use them. So that
Yes.
it's really a community resource
It
as
is.
well. But it has several benefits for our students. Talk a little bit about the process that we went through to develop the swing set area.
To develop the swing set area, well, like you said, our sensory trail committee had talked about many different phases to what we have done. And when we were talking about the treehouse, the idea had been posed to put in a swing set. And I just happened to stumble on some information at a conference that I was on as far as the company who did do the installation for us. So I contacted them and met with them a few different times, and they put a plan together, and here we are today.
They installed it pretty quickly too. I mean,
They did, yes.
They had a little bit of fighting with the
weather.
end of our winter that
yes.
seemed to want to carry itself all the way into May. But it's been there for a couple of weeks now, and
It has.
and it looks very nice.
Yes.
Now, tell me about the benefit to the students from a sensory standpoint.
I would say one of the main benefits of swinging is that it can be very calming and organizing to someone who may be upset or who is just a little bit out of sorts. So several of our kids use it for that purpose, and it's great that the community will have that. And it's also there just for pure enjoyment too. Kids have a great time when they're swinging. So
Now, it has 2 regular swings, 2 bucket swings, but it also has a platform swing. Talk a little bit
Yes.
about that and how cool that is to
yes,
have.
I would say that's my most favorite part of the entire swing set. Different parks and things around the county have the bucket type swings for kids who need a little bit more support, but there is no other location in the county that has a platform swing which individuals in wheelchairs are able to use. So we've had parents for several years say, oh, it would be so nice to have that resource in the community to be able to go to the park with our kids on the weekend or whatever as a family, and to all be able to play together. And this will allow that, so that's really awesome.
Okay. Well, Lori, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
When we come back, we'll be talking with Art Brait and talk about the next phase of this Sensory Trail project.
Hi, I'm Dave Ward, Lancaster Fire Chief.
I'm Ken Sprague, president of Hamburg Fireworks and the Fireworks Factory Outlet.
Last year in Ohio, there was over $137,400 in property loss to homes caused by fires started with fireworks. So please do your part to minimize these risks by using the following tips.
Be prepared. Obey all the laws of your community.
Always wear safety glasses when shooting off fireworks.
Have a hose, bucket of water, or even a fire extinguisher nearby.
Keep your pets in mind. Animals have sensitive ears and may be extremely frightened by fireworks.
Be safe. Purchase only legal fireworks that are approved by the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the American Fireworks Standards Laboratory.
Follow the directions on the label and set family rules.
Use common sense. Have a designated shooter, somebody that is responsible and familiar with all the fireworks. We are proud to provide safe, public displays throughout the county. For more information, visit our Facebook page at Hamburg Fireworks Display.
And on behalf of the Lancaster Fire Department, we'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy 4th of July.
So we're going to talk about how to properly fit your child with a helmet. First thing you want to do is take your child to the store with you. That way you can pick out a helmet that they like and that they'll actually wear, and you can make sure that it fits them appropriately. When you're choosing a helmet, first of all, you want to buy it new. You don't want to buy it used because you don't know the history of the helmet. So once you've chosen a helmet that your child likes, set it on their head and make sure that it is not too loose or too big. You don't want to buy a helmet that your child's going to grow into because then it's not going to fit. You want the helmet to be straight across. A good rule of thumb is 2 fingers between the eyebrow and the helmet. That is a good guideline to follow. You want this chin strap to be pretty tight. You don't want it so tight that it's choking them, but you want it tight enough that the helmet's not moving around a lot on their head. I always say to kids who come to see me in the emergency department, you fall off your bike and break your arm, we can fix it. If you break your leg, we can fix it. But if you hurt your head and damage your brain, we can't fix it. All right, why don't you hop on your bike and go for a ride, buddy?
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. I'm joined now by Art Brait, who is a member of the executive committee of the Friends of the Lancaster Sensory Trail. Art, welcome.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Art's been with me before. You kind of had a nice little reunion the last week or so, and today with Bob Sulik, your buddy who built the, worked with him to build the treehouse, and you replaced that musical instrument.
Yeah, the musical instruments that we have down there, one of them was showing some weathering and needed some repair. Talked to the manufacturer out in Colorado to get some ideas, and talking with Bob Zolik, decided maybe that's something we could tackle ourselves and do the repair work. So he made the contact with the school, and I think you've already talked with Andy Phillips and,
right.
and a couple of the students over there, took it on as a project, put together kind of a plan as to how they're going to repair it. And between Bob and Slater Hardware that donated some of the materials for that, I think they did an excellent job. It looks to me like it's a lot stronger and better built now than the original, so it should hold up for a long time. And we have it up down there, and we were just down there trying to play some music, although it's more like noise from us. But it is a very good musical instruments, and you've maybe talked before that those instruments, if you're a musician, you can play music and do a pretty good job down there.
Yes, and then they've gotten quite a bit of use over the last few years too.
Yeah.
Well, listen, tell me a little bit about the next phase. What's going to happen here?
Okay, well, we've got a couple things in the planning stages. We would like to extend the paved trail and go across the creek. This is Fetter's Run. The treehouse kind of overlooks it. On the other side of the creek, the county owns the property over there. And so our goal would be to put a footbridge over and extend the paved trail heading north along the other side, and go as far north at least now to Countryside Drive, which is the access to the inn at Fairfield Village, the assisted living facility, so that the trail would go over there. Those folks would have access to come over to the Century Trail and the entire bike trail. Would also provide access for the Fisher Catholic School, for some of the housing that's north here. And so we need to build a bridge to get over there. It doesn't have to be a one that's for vehicular traffic, but still has to meet all the requirements for loadings and things like that for pedestrians. So our group thought, wouldn't it be neat to make it a covered bridge rather than just a steel type truss footbridge? Obviously, covered bridges are historically pretty popular in this county. We have 18 restored bridges here, and working with the historic parks and David Fay, we've come up with a type of bridge that we'd like to build, and actually have a design put together now. It's 51 foot long span. And we're going to have to build some concrete abutments and some approach ramps and things like that. So that's all in the planning and design stages. Obviously, though, it costs a lot of money, and so we're in the process of we've applied for several different grants through some trusts and even Ohio Department of Transportation as an alternative trail program that they have. And so we're kind of doing the planning and design as we're trying to do some fundraising or get some funds there. So we're always looking for people that would like to get involved from that standpoint. So that's one phase. Once we get on the other side and build that path, over on that property, we'd also like to construct a wetland, probably about 2 acres in size. Not a pond with deep water, but strictly a wetland, kind of shallow waters that will grow all types of vegetation, and various wildlife will live there. and put a bit of a boardwalk, some observation areas out over the water, so that, again, if you're on the bike path, if you're from the schools here, you would have a chance to go out there and enjoy the environment around the wetland. And we also would do a lot of plantings of various things in the wetland and around it. And so that is also in the planning design stages. Once we get the path over there, we'll have access to it, and would like to then construct the wetland and the boardwalk. Boardwalk also it's kind of an expensive item to build something that's strong enough and has the safety requirements of the railings and things like that. And so again, we'll have to do some more fundraising and apply for grants and things. We've got a couple things out going on there now, but we're always looking for help there.
Yeah, we've already talked earlier about the fact that this entire project was built without public money. Was built all with grants and donations. Of course, we've talked about in the past how this outdoor classroom, for lack of a better term, has served as part of the curriculum. So that will carry over as well into the wetland, and we hope to be able to also welcome in Fisher Catholic, Lancaster High School, and perhaps Thomas Ewing to kind of study there, and we'll see how that goes. But of course, that's another year or so down the road.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the opportunities for the biology and the vegetation and things connected with that, I'm not sure we have anything similar to that nearby in the way of land labs and things like that. So we're hoping to involve the schools. OUL obviously is within walking distance as well, and maybe some of their students in classes can take advantage of the wetland and the surrounding vegetation.
Okay. Well, Art, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
If you are interested in making a donation for any of these projects, contact me at the Fairfield County Board of DD at 740-652-7220. We are working with Fairfield County Foundation as our fiscal agent, and so anything donated for use on this property is tax deductible. Until next month, this is John Bosser for Fairfield Today.
Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Ohio University Lancaster, and Lancaster Fairfield Community Action Recycling and Litter Prevention.